Hello everybody. This is going to be my first entry into my video diary. Um, Today is September 24th, 2015, and I wanted to take this time to give you a little introduction of my day before I get into my little narrative, because I do have something. But it kind of started off pretty rough. I rented a car. And of course, I am not good with directions at all. So I made sure that I had a navigation unit in the car. Well, I've always had navigation units, so I'm pretty familiar with how to use them. But when I got here in Israel, I was in for a rude awakening. They looked like they gave me a unit, a navigation unit from a Cracker Jacks box, which I found very, very difficult to use. It was just very, very, very basic. And so I found that not only did it not give me the kind of instructions that I want, mainly because I had not set it correctly. I had it set by them, and they set all kinds of features off that I really needed. Like, for example, when you make a bad turn, to recalculate, well, they turned that off, so it didn't. If you made a bad turn, too bad. You just keep on going, and it would give you the you made a bad turn, but that was it. That was the end of it. And not only that, because of the fact, I guess, there are not a lot of developed roads in this part of Israel, the southern part. It just had a difficult time finding things. So to make a long story short, I had a very, very, very frustrating morning. I went out. I couldn't even get out of the neighborhood because I'm staying in Arad, the new Arad, and they have a lot of roundabouts, I guess you call them roundabouts. And almost every 50 yard there's a roundabout. And so when I tried to get back out of the area and my navigation was not working, I was totally turned around. So I became so frustrated that I just kind of turned around and came back. And I brought the thing in the house and I looked at it and I played with it and I tried to figure out what was going on. And not only that, because I don't know, certain addresses you cannot even put in. And if you can't put those addresses in, you can't go to that location. And I don't know if that's because they have blocked certain things out. I don't know. But anyway, it was really, really frustrating. So I came back in, I prayed, and I said, Lord, now I know that you know my weakness, and that this has been one of them. And so, but to make a long story short, I was able to kind of figure out a way how to circumvent some of the problems that I was having with the navigation system. And I was able to put in some addresses that I knew I had, and hopefully they would be in there. And so that's what I did. So I went back and I programmed a couple of addresses in, and because they had to take me out of the neighborhood, then I was able to get out of the neighborhood. But it was frustrating. I'm not joking. It was frustrating. And so after my second try, I went back out and I went on my trip. And that's what I'm going to start telling you about. So we'll get into that in just a moment. And as I said before, after I was able to get some addresses programmed in, I was able to get out of the neighborhood. And so I started off on my trip. But before I get started, I want to introduce you to my little car. And this is especially for my daughter, my youngest daughter, Nicole, who loves cars. And she said, Mom, I need to see the car. So here it is, Nicole. Low budget deal. It gets me around. The navigation system is what I was having trouble with. But I think I've kind of worked that out now, so I should be able to go and come as I please if I can find an address that I can program in. Now I'm kind of staying here because I wanted you to kind of see the neighborhood and some people that kind of walk by. I was recording, but they walk back and forth to church, synagogue, or whatever it is. And so they kind of shied away, but I was recording, so they had to walk by. And next I want to take you and show you, I want you to actually see where I'm staying. This car was sitting right out in front of the location that I'm staying. But I also wanted you to kind of see the lush green area that I'm staying in, because I want to be able to contrast that to you with the desert as I go out, and you'll have a chance to look at that. So this is the name of the place is the Dead Sea Guest Hotel, or something like that. But I just wanted to kind of let you kind of take a look at that, at the greenery. So pay attention to that, and you'll see on the next clip where even across the street, you'll see the barrenness of it. Okay, so I started on my way, and as I'm traveling, I'm getting out of the city, and I'm feeling all inspired and everything. So I started climbing up this mountain. And now I knew I had put in Howshua's address. I knew that because that was one of them that I knew that I had, and I put it in. But I must admit that when I tried to match it with what he gave me and what I could pull up on the navigation system, they didn't match. So I was not sure if I was going there or not, but I do know that I was headed in that direction. So I started up the mountain, and I was climbing and climbing. So I finally came to a place where it told me to turn, and I turned. And so I actually went down, and I said, oh wow, I'm at Howshua's farm, and I have not been invited, because I didn't call him to tell him that I was coming, but I had a feeling that's where I was. So I turned around and headed out of there. Plus, I saw this sign with an X on it, and I knew that meant no trespassing or something like that. So since I hadn't called, I turned around and I went back. So I went back, and just to make sure, I took a picture of the sign. And sure enough, as you can see on the sign, it is his location. So this is Howshua's Mountain. I was there. I did not go in. I just sort of visited on the mountain at the road. Okay. Now, to be honest with you, after I found Howshua's Mountain, and I got out of Arad and traveled up the mountain, I was feeling pretty good by myself. So I started my trek back home. And I remember coming up the mountain, I saw this structure. I wasn't sure what it was, but I decided to stop and take a picture of it. It kind of reminded me of some of the pictures that I had seen, but I knew it wasn't that. So I don't know what this is, but I took a picture of it. And I also just kind of did a pan all the way around so you could kind of see the area. Things in that location. As you can see, it's very dry and very, very dusty, and that's what I wanted to contrast with what was really in the location that I was in, where they have kind of built it up. But this is truly a desert. This is truly the wilderness. So I'm amazed. It's a very peaceful feeling out here, but there's a lot of work to be done. And so this is a place where a lot of people could come, and the Lord could use us, and I know that He's going to wake this place back up, and it's going to be blooming even better than the location that I was in, because he said he's going to make the desert bloom for his people. He's going to bring out the greenery. So that was my trip today. It was enjoyable. It was frustrating, but it's something to put in the entry, in my diary entry. So here's my little red car, and I'm about out of here. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.